Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your April 2019 reading. I do apologize for the setup, you guys. I am currently in the middle of relocating. So allow me just a moment to shuffle out your messages here. Scorpios, automatically, I feel that many of you are, you're tied up in a conflict with someone. I definitely feel that. It will not be for all of you, but I definitely feel that with some of you guys. It seems that I'm getting a reoccurring theme when it comes to, everyone is feeling short-tempered and irritated, and a lot of things are coming back around to be resolved. And it's a cleansing time for most people. It's like wanting to start all over, wanting to start fresh. You do have the Six of Cups here. I have not seen this. I don't think anyone else has gotten this so far. But the Six of Cups, of course, is where you're thinking about the past. Or someone from your past is coming back around, okay? So this can go vice versa. All readings can always go vice versa. This is, positive memories of the past. Someone who was once significant to you. They may still be significant now, And I feel that it's like you've been waiting on someone to come back. Or someone's been waiting on you to come back. At one point, it's like you have turned your back on this person, or they turn their back on you. And I feel that you're engaged in a power struggle here. But nonetheless, sometimes there are always those memories that we share with a person that no matter how angry you get, or, no matter what happens, it's like sometimes there are still those good, positive memories that are very strong, like where a moment creeps up on you and you start feeling emotional out of the blue, or you start feeling nostalgic for the past, just completely out of the blue. I do feel some emotional fluctuation here, where it seems as though, you think you're over it, you think you're done with it, but then something happens where you're like, well, why am I thinking about this? Because truth be told, as much as people want to say, oh, I'm over that, I'm done with that, most of the time when someone is going around bashing an ex, just the fact that they're talking about them means that they're thinking about them. And if they're thinking about them, then there's obviously something still there, right? That's just typically the truth of the matter. I see that very often, and it's like, well, if you don't care about this person anymore, why are you still focusing on them, right? So I'm definitely getting that feeling here. You are showing up as the Page of Cups, so many of you, this is you, or you may be dealing with yourself, another water sign like yourself, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, showing up as the Page. I feel that, this is typically someone who is, see the distance between these two people? So we have this Queen of Wands here. This would be a fire sign, which is an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. It does not have to be, but I'm feeling like there's a gap here. That may be a physical distance, but I'm also getting like emotional distance. So it's like you're pushing someone away, or someone is pushing you away. And for some of you, you're moving on, or your ex is moving on. And you may be getting news that someone is getting married, or, you're getting married, and you're reminiscing on the past. Not saying that you want to go back to it, but, when you're celebrating a huge milestone in your life, very often people do think back to the past. They think about how far they've come, right? So I do feel for some of you that someone is actually getting married, and it's like you're moving on, and you know that once this is solidified, there's not any going back to the past, right? Once those agreements are made. So I do feel, for those of you that applies to, I feel there is a little bit of emotional upset here. And it seems as though someone is keeping this to themselves. I feel like this is being held in. Someone's not expressing how they feel. This Eight of Swords here, it does indicate feeling trapped. But, most importantly, it's where you're feeling like you don't have all of the information. It's a horrible feeling. Just to be honest, I'm not being negative. It's a horrible feeling where you feel trapped. It's like you're unable to stop thinking about something because you don't have the answers. It's like if you had the answers, you would be able to close that chapter and move on, right? So for some of you, someone did not give you closure. And you may have been waiting on this person to come back around to obtain that closure. That is something that we as human beings, a lot of us need that. And I feel that someone purposely, it's like they did not give you closure, or, you didn't give them closure. And someone here is really wanting answers, truth. For some of you, you may have a child with this person. We do have the Empress and the Emperor here. So I do feel some of you are married, or, there are children involved. And I'm not so much getting, especially with these in order, this in order here. This is definitely co-parenting for a lot of you. Or, long-term relationships with children. Or, as I said, someone's moving on with someone else, and there may be children from a previous marriage, or it's, you're thinking back to your past. I feel like there's definitely, as I said, there's distance here. For some of you, you're wanting something more light, not as heavy-hearted, and you may be involved with someone who is, I want to say, I feel that they are very passive-aggressive. And, you're needing someone who has a little bit more of that take charge type of feeling. That's what I'm getting here. It's like you're wanting someone who knows how to take charge. You're wanting someone who knows how to manage a household. That is what's attractive to you at this time. Is someone who has all their ducks in a row. And while there may be a flirtation here, I feel that in the long run, in the long term of things, I feel what you're looking for is someone more like this. The Empress is abundant, and it's not just about money, and it's not just about looks. This is about trying to continuously better yourself in life, right? So it's like there may be someone here that's offering you a flirtation. But I feel as though there's another prospect that is a much better candidate. For some of you, there has been a third-party situation where someone has came in between someone else's family unit, or someone has came in between, a serious committed relationship. I do get that. I feel that it's already happened. I feel that it's over and done, okay? But I do feel that there's some cleanup work to do, okay? This Ten of Wands, this is indicating feeling very overwhelmed, feeling exhausted. There's a lot of responsibility here. And with this Emperor, as I said, it's like you're putting your foot down with someone or them you. And I feel that many of you, you have some very positive things here. But I feel that there's still some shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And then here we have the Four of Swords. This indicates a break in communication, where you're no longer communicating with someone, okay? So for some of you, you have not talked to this person in 4 weeks, 4 months. We are in the month of April, okay? So it's like someone is trying to make amends with you, or, you make amends with them. And I'm going to clarify this just a bit further. Those of you that were left without closure, I feel that, it's like you're replaying this in your head over and over and over. And yeah, see, this is all about closure, right? So you may be reaching out to someone just for the closure, not to renew the relationship, but just for the closure. And I feel that even if there are feelings that, where you want to be bitter or like you want to be standoffish, honestly, I feel that it's important to keep in mind how things feel in another person's shoes. It's like someone is needing answers or needing closure for their own state of mind, okay? And as human beings, typically we try to do right by others, right? So it's like if someone is reaching out, just to gain that closure, sometimes that is the best gift you can give a person, is to just, to put them out of their misery, so to speak. Because I do feel that someone here is very hurt. Someone here there's a lot of questions going through their mind. And I do feel that it may be weighing on someone's self-esteem as well. It's like feeling like you're not good enough or you're not attractive enough. I'm picking up like self-confidence issues. So I feel that this is something important to keep in mind. And as I said, we can get angry all day. People can stay angry. Anger is a strong emotion. But I feel that, sometimes you have to be the bigger person, right? Someone has to be the bigger person here. Those of you that are going through a divorce or a separation, I feel like, trying to do things above board, especially if there are children involved, that is something that is coming through strongly here. So these are the scales of karma, the scales of justice. This is about doing things in a noble manner. Doing things in a noble manner. There may be some harsh truths that need to be said here, but I do feel that it's going to allow for closure of this chapter, because this was someone quite significant to you, or vice versa. Typically it's mutual. And for some of you, you're encountering someone, and I feel, I don't want to sound cliche, I feel this is almost like like where you see someone, you're meeting someone for the first time, and you feel like you've known them before. Okay, I definitely see that for some of you. It is almost like a love at first sight type of feeling. If you're in love with someone brand new, I feel that you're closing out one cycle and starting another, and it feels like you've known them before. This is, escalating quickly. But then we have this slow down here. I do feel, be cautious. Definitely be cautious. But I feel that it's almost like, you're praying. You're feeling like, is this too good to be true? And lots of times when you feel like it's too good to be true, there's a tendency to self-sabotage. So I would advise caution. Keep your composure. Keep your composure. And, try to do things above board. Yeah, so your clarifier here is the Seven of Swords. This is all about sneaky behavior, right? Someone who's been sneaking around, sweeping things under the rug. And we have here the Star. So this is needing to nurture yourself, needing to take care of yourself. I feel that with this being your clarifiers for the Four of Swords, it's like someone that whoever it is that you've not been speaking to, the reason you cut them off or the reason they cut you off was because of this behavior. This is sneaky, conniving behavior. And that's definitely what I'm getting, conniving, right? Like someone who wants to steal from you. Or someone that you stole from, vice versa. It's one of those acts of betrayal where it's not, you can't even call it betrayal. It's conniving, That's what I'm feeling here. And it's like, this is where someone does something, with no morals about them. Absolutely no morals about them. And I'm also getting greed here. Someone who is greedy, selfish. Look, if you notice, he's stealing from camp, right? He's stealing from these people in the daytime. And he's like hoarding all of these objects to himself. So it's like someone is trying to cover their tracks here. And, this is why you've cut them off. Or this is why they cut you off, vice versa. And as a result, someone here is trying to heal. They're trying to recover. And they're trying to nurture themselves. So I very much get a vibe that, someone is trying to move forward and move on. It's like someone has a bitter taste in their mouth. Some feelings of resentment here. And I feel like they're working very hard to move forward. Someone has been affected greatly. Mentally, emotionally, self-confidence, like all of that. So it makes sense as to why the Six of Cups is here, because this is usually a quite strong, significant connection. I do get that. So, those of you where someone is needing closure from you, just give it to them and, let them move on. I feel like that's the best thing to do. Some of you just need to cut ties with someone altogether. I feel like there's some hidden information. Also, be careful of your accounts, any social media accounts, for example, being compromised at this time. I'm not sure why I'm getting that, but I am. Now, you have the Two of Cups here as your clarifier for the Eight of Swords. So, some of you are thinking, when am I going to meet the one? When am I going to meet the one? Someone who is like-minded, that kindred soul, my other half. It's like there's this longing, there's this desire for this connection. And I feel that there's some hesitancy. It's like deep down, this is what you're seeking. But I feel that you would never admit it openly. Or vice versa, as I said. That's what a lot of you are thinking about. Where, you're trying to better yourself. You're trying to improve yourself. You are working. This is heavily work focused. It's like you're working to improve yourself. You're working to better yourself. Because for some of you, as I said, someone greatly affected you. It's like they affected you and made you feel very vulnerable. For some of you, this is where someone took a significant partner out from underneath you. Like if a third party broke into a relationship and especially if there were children, I feel like someone has taken something that did not belong to them, right? And I feel that it's greatly impacted the other person. So someone is working very hard to get back on their feet here. And just to recover. I'm picking up a lot of vulnerabilities. So, it's like you're trying to smooth things over. You're trying to get on the same page. Some of you, there are regrets here where you're like, it went a little bit too far. Yeah, so here we have the Six of Wands. This does indicate victory. More importantly, it represents moving on. So, I feel like at the end of the day, you're moving on. They're moving on. This is about, positive movement forward. But I'm also getting to watch your back. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I am. Yeah, so our clarifier here is Temperance. This is all about emotional balance. Also, moderation. Moderation, emotional balance, keeping your calm. I also get that here. But I feel more so it's about emotional moderation. Taking your time, being patient. Be careful while traveling or while driving at this time also. I feel like a lot of you are trying to heal. You're trying to recover. And it's a reminder to be patient with yourself. You know, sometimes people go through things and, it takes a while. Especially the ending of a significant relationship. And even more so when there are children involved. I feel that someone needs to, lighten up. Cut the other person some slack. Envision, exchange shoes, right? Because I feel that there's a severance here. There's a severance. Someone has betrayed someone, and it's like you're trying to pick up the pieces and move on. And this is going to be beneficial for you in the long term, but I feel like, don't be so hard on yourself. Allow yourself the time that it takes to heal, to recover. And be easy on yourself is what I want to say. Because I feel that some of you, it's like you're being overly harsh on yourself. Or feeling down on yourself. And again, this can be vice versa. It just depends. But I just feel that it takes time. It takes time. It takes time to move on. It takes time to get back on that horse, right? It takes time to move forward. After this type of pain, for some of you, it was a significant relationship. Again, possibly a marriage, possibly children involved. The Fool here does indicate brand new beginnings. Starting all over, dropping baggage. Some of you are literally trying to lose weight. I feel like, especially those of you where this has affected your self-confidence, but, don't overdo it. Again, things take time. I feel like someone really pulled a number on you, and you're trying to start all over. And this is where, you're looking at things from a different perspective. And you're dropping baggage. You're starting all over. You're taking that leap of faith. Don't rush into anything too quickly. And I feel like it's important to say, keep your faith. So some of you have lost faith in people. It's like, well, if the person closest to me can betray me so badly, then, anybody can hurt me, right? So I'm picking up a lot of different things here. But I do feel that, all in all, you do have the star here. This is spiritual guidance. So I feel that you starting all over, it may be the best thing to ever happen. So while you may be feeling, going through that emotional roller coaster at this time, all situations, all feelings pass in time, right? Some of you are getting back out there on the dating field and you're having cold feet. I do get that. But again, take your time. If you're not ready, then you're not ready. And if you are, then you are. I just feel like you're changing up a lot of different things. It's like a brand new start here. And it will turn out in your favor. I feel that, something here needed to end. It needed to end. Those of you where this is a new love interest, I feel that this is a very promising connection. Again, every possibility to escalate to something a lot more serious. I definitely see that. And it's like you're cutting people off. Anyone who's betrayed you, you're cutting them off. You're focused on healing, moving forward. No more of this behavior. And for some of you, this is something you're trying to change in yourself. Where you're trying to do things more above board. Or whoever hurt you, that they're going through something like that. But I feel that there's a lot of thinking in regards to, what is right and what is wrong and how we should treat other people. And closure. Closure seems to be a very big theme in this reading. Okay, Scorpio, I will see you in the month of May.